Hello heroes, it's Silent Signs from I Dream of Indie, and today we are taking a look at Dark Deity. These are my gameplay impressions based off of the first hour and a half or so of gameplay. Dark Deity is a turn-based tactical RPG where you are playing as a group of young students that are quickly drafted into a war. Since these are only impressions, I didn't get too deep into the story, but from what I can tell, there is a big emphasis on the relationships between the characters and on your ability to choose and build your own party and weapons and abilities. Combat in this strategic RPG is pretty straightforward. You are able to move characters around in a grid-based format. From there, you can attack enemies. You can also use spells or healing or items. There is a leveling system in place for your characters, so they do get stronger as you go. And there's always the potential for a critical hit, which comes with a neat little animation. You're going to want to take out all of the enemies on screen to be victorious in battle, but none of this is going to be too different from any other strategic RPGs you played in the past. Where I did find this game kind of stood out on its own is the way in which you're able to develop the relationships between the different characters. You have a camp after each battle, and you can basically not only level up your characters in strength and abilities, but you can also level up the relationships between the characters. Dark Deity certainly isn't the first game to do this, but it was refreshing in this instance. There are in total 30 playable characters you can choose from, as well as 54 different classes, 320 weapons and spells, and 120 plus skills to learn. So this game is certainly quite deep, especially when combined with all of the different bonds you can create between all of those characters. There's a lot to take in. Graphically, you can certainly see the inspiration that comes from a lot of the predecessors in this genre. You have those pixelated graphics, and the menus and combat systems are nice and tidy. I'd say my favorite aspect of the presentation is the portrait art that comes along with each character. When combined with the character development that you're building with the bonds between each of these playable characters, you really get a good sense of who these individuals are. And to flesh things out even further, there is a little bit of voice acting. It's not fully voice acted, but you do get little words and phrases that help add a little bit more personality to the mix. And of course, what would any RPG be without a beautifully orchestrated soundtrack? This is certainly no exception. There are some gorgeous full-bodied string pieces in this mix that really made for a pleasant and quite majestic experience. As long as you don't mind a lot of reading as a side to your tactical turn-based combat, I'd say this title is certainly one worth investigating. If you are a fan of this genre, keep in mind you will be introduced to a number of characters pretty quickly, just because that's the nature of this type of game, with all of the different playable character options available, so there will be quite a few different plot lines to keep track of.
You're just another cur!
Didn't give him much of a chance, huh?
So will you be fighting the good fight? Let me know in the comments down below. Before I go, I just want to thank our indie warriors, Bill T, Christian Cruz, Kevilo, Chris Jackson, Adriana Amato, CJR, Julian Coldis, Jesse, CPM, Raylin, Marky Mint, Dave Harp, Peekaboo, Lex Noyle, PSC, Carmen Red, King of the Hatch, Blue Francis 14, and indie legends Jen Rose, Larkison, Mitchell Hall, Eric Peach, Skeptism, C Coil, and Nathan Moore. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, don't forget you can subscribe down below so you don't miss any reviews or previews, and check out the description box if you'd like to see how to become an indie warrior or indie legend yourself. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.